Hey guys, Aramis555 here, coming to you with the Black Luster Soldier deck profile I know some of you have been waiting for. As you'll see, I don't have an extra deck here. I'm just going to say right at the start of the video. Reason being is that this deck doesn't actually use the extra deck that much. Sorry, that's my T in the background. But basically, if you are going to play an extra deck in this deck, you're basically just going to run good rank 4s and then like Felgran. Those are pretty much the only cards I ever go into. So I'm just not going to bother showing an extra deck with this, because really the main deck is the star of the deck, and it's actually really consistent. It's a lot of fun. Are you going to be able to compete with like major meta decks? No. Can you take this to a locals and maybe do okay with it, as long as your locals is actually fun and not, you know, overly competitive? Probably. And can you play it against your friends and possibly do well? Most definitely. So without further ado, I'll get on the deck profile. I did test this deck quite a bit, and I should say actually before I get started, I did originally net deck Alan Theo's rank 7, or the level 7, the Gaia version of it, the most recent one on this channel. And I thought it was really bad. Not to bash him, because I think his first profile of the deck was really good, the one where he was using the level 4s. But so I kind of went back to that, and I realized that the level 4 version of this deck is so much better than the Gaia version. The Gaias aren't that good at all, and Super Sacred Soldier, or whatever his name is, the new one from Bosch, really isn't that good either. He's kind of awkward to summon, and when you do summon him, he's not that great. Like, it's better just to spam out this guy and just win off of this. So also want to note that when pre-preparation of rights comes out, you probably won't even play this guy. You'll just play the old BLS. It'll be a lot better, and that version I think will actually be pretty decent. Also, before I get started, I just want to say let's get this up to 30 likes, and I will have an INZEKTOR deck profile for you guys. I know it's been a long time, but I'm actually, I put INZEKTORs back together, and I am playing triple Hornet. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, what? Hornet's only at 1. Hornet should be at 3. It's just a fun deck, of course. I'm not taking it to any locals or anything. I'm just playing it against Brendan. And I think the deck's perfectly fine with 3 Hornet. It's not broken at all. Dragonfly should never go back past 1, in my opinion. I think that card's insane. You can abuse it so easily at multiple copies. So I think that like 3 Hornet's perfectly fine. So it's one of those cards I feel like will go up to 3 on the ban list at some point. So I figured I would just play it at 3 and just show you guys how I would play the deck if it was back at 3. So yeah, 30 likes. So anyways, without further ado, deck profile. So 1, 2, 3, Blackluster. That was really poorly laid out. Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier. This card's not bad. The only problem I have with this whole deck is, like, I wish that these guys were like not Earth. I wish that they were light or dark as well. Light or dark would have been nice. Doesn't matter. But what makes this guy so good is, 1, he floats, which is pretty decent. But it's more the Ring of Destruction effect. It's just like really powerful. It essentially puts your opponent in a spot where they either have to kill the Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier, or you just win because you can kill them so quickly. He is really easy to summon as well, and I mean, like, his card art's awesome. That's kind of why I like the deck. So, and then the 1 Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. You really don't summon that guy this much, but when you do, he's just as strong as this guy. And he's super easy to summon, and generally whenever you summon him, he does gain you advantage, so that's really important to note. Oh, I think my camera's a little crooked here. There we go. So I am playing 1, 2, 3 Evening Twilight Knight. This is the better one out of the 2, just because if you open Manju and this, you pretty much have your Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier, and this actually, his effect is better because he banishes a card out of your opponent's hand face down until the end phase, to your opponent's next end phase. So they really don't get it back until your turn. It's just really good. Basically, if you banish it, you get to add a ritual monster from your deck to your hand as well, which is really nice. So you're just constantly searching out more of your Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier. And if a Manju and this is in the graveyard, which is generally going to happen fairly often, you instantly have another Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier to summon. So that's really good. And then just the 1 Beginning Knight. The problem I have with this card is, like, he does allow you to banish. So if you do send both these to the graveyard to summon out your Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier, you do get to banish 2 monsters on the field because their effects do stack. But this guy's the worst out of the 2, but I mean, he's still, I think, relevant to run, so I do just play the 1. So one charging Gaia, that's all you need. This can be special from the graveyard as well off of Super Soldier, so I feel like you don't need more than one copy. And really the only thing I ever search off of it is pretty much going to be the Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the beginning. This engine just isn't good, so I'm just playing like one Super Soldier as well. This is basically just a Foolish Burial target, so it just adds more. That's basically like a second Rhoda, since Rhoda's unfortunately at 1. Oh, there's a piece of dirt or something in the card. So basically, what ends up happening is you can send both of these to the graveyard. This will search you out of BLS, and then this can banish to search you out another another Twilight Knight. You never summon this. If you do, it's bad. But sometimes when you do draw it, sucks. You just set it. I was trying 2, but it was just too cloggy, so I think 1 is just the perfect number. Because you don't want to draw it, you want to open Foolish, and if you do open Foolish, you're just going to send this, banish it, and search. So I'm playing 3 Manju of the 10,000 Hands. Of course, it's a ritual deck. And this card works really well with Evening Twilight Knight, just because if you open this, once again, in Evening Twilight Knight, you have a light and a dark setup. It's also 4 plus 4, which is 8. And yeah, I think it's the best way to play the deck, in my opinion. Just one Senju for more consistency, because if you open this in Evening Twilight Knight, it's the same thing. You just have to have the ritual spell in your hand already, so just one Senju. You don't need more than that. 3 is cloggy, 2 is cloggy. So here's my super, not really secret tech. I know a lot of other people have been playing it, but this is so good in this deck. Is 2 Armageddon Knight. I think this card needs to be limited, just for the pure fact that essentially when you summon this in any way, it gets to dump something. And generally the card you're going to be dumping is Zephyros. Zephyros is super good in here because you can bounce your field spell to activate it again. You can bounce your Manjus to summon them again next turn. It allows you to do rank 4 plays. And it just overall, it just lets you reuse a lot of cards. I am playing Fiendish Chains in here too, just for the fact that you can bounce Fiendish Chain with Zephyros and then reset it again, so that's really good. And the last monster I'm playing, for summoning wise, is one Djinn release, Presider of Rituals. This card's awesome. It's an 1800 beater. It's also really good because you can send it to the graveyard and then banish it from the graveyard as the one of the materials for a ritual summon. And what's really cool about this, I swear to gosh, why is this crooked? Looks crooked. There we go. The one cool thing about this is that basically you get to draw whenever you destroy with your Super Soldier. So that's really awesome, including if you banish it to summon it as well. So that's really, really good. And then I'm just playing 2 Maxxes, of course, because I love Maxi and I played it and everything. So that's it for the monsters. On to the spells. You notice there as well, everything was pretty much level 4, so you pretty much are always going to have consistency in making Super Soldier. So 3 Gateway to Chaos. Probably the best card in the deck, in my opinion. This is like inherent ritual support, which is kind of cool, because it's whenever a monster is sent to the graveyard, you can get 3. Eventually, when you get 3 counters, you can remove those 3 counters, maximum 6. And search out a ritual spell once per turn. So that's really cool. You can play this in Necros as well. But yeah, this card's really, really good. Searches out your BLS, or sometimes you can, once in a blue moon, you're going to search out your Gaia the Fierce Knight just to summon them. 2 chicken games. This is just basically because I'm playing triple terraforming, so just kind of more deck thinning. I didn't like Upstart in here because I didn't want to give my opponent more life points, so I figured that was the better option. This is also cool because if it stays on the board and your opponent doesn't want to draw the cards off it, this can stop you from being OTK'd and whatnot. So good players are just going to pop it though. 3 Terraforming. Once again, just search out all the field spells, which adds consistency to the deck and deck thinning. So the ritual spell is Super Soldier Ritual. It's a tongue twister. This card's really cool because you can banish a light and a dark from the graveyard to ritual summon a special summon, one Blackluster Soldier ritual monster from your hand, ignoring its summon conditions. So this is really cool because if you have like the Twilight Knight Manju set up, that's a light and a dark instantly, and then you can use this from the graveyard to special another Super Soldier from your hand, which is really, really cool. 2 Kaiser Colosseum, this just slows down a lot of the really fast decks in the game, so I think that like 2 Kaiser is just really good in here. That was something Alan Theo played that I thought was a really good idea, so I decided to stick with it. The 1 Foolish Burial, because this does search out, you can send a light or a dark to the graveyard to make this live, or you can send Zephyros to bounce something back and do a rank 4 play, or you can, of course, send the armor thing to banish it and search out a Twilight Knight or Beginning Knight, which is really good. And 1 Rhoda, which is unfortunate. This deck would have been a lot more consistent if Rhoda had stayed at 3, but I mean that makes a lot of the more other broken decks like Satellar Knights and stuff more consistent as well. So that's it for the spells. On to the traps. So we have 1, 2, 3 Fiendish Chain, and 1 Vanities, and 1 Warning. So that's pretty much it, just 5 traps. You're more just going to push, but I noticed that like the deck did get killed pretty easily, so you still need some protection. I still love Fiendish Chain, I think it's a great card. Yeah, so that's the deck profile, guys. Pretty short one, only 10 minutes there, but basically just kind of show you guys what I've been doing with the deck. I think this is really consistent. Some of you might be like, why aren't you playing Summoner Monk? I didn't like Summoner Monk in testing because so many people are playing Maxx season failures right now. It was just getting hit with everything. Same with Solemn Notice, like you go -1 off pretty much Armageddon Knight off anything. I just didn't like that. I just want to summon this big booty. Your opponent has a hard time getting over it. You can banish stuff, and then you can attack and burn them from game. And this deck has a lot of really good OTKs. So anyways, guys, let's get this up to 30 likes, I think is fair. And I will have that INZEKTOR deck profile for you guys with the 3 Hornets. I know that might be weird because it's like, okay, Hornet isn't at 3 once again, but we can just look at it in an OCG kind of light, I guess. And I honestly think Hornet will eventually go back up to 3 pretty soon. Konami needs to fix that, then they need to put windups back up too, because those decks, like I've tried them both at full power, and they're really not that good anymore. INZEKTOR's is probably, I think, better than windups if Hornet goes back to 3, but overall, still not super great. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.